So okay, we have the Friday adventure. All right. Um, kind of got up between 9 and 10. um, got ready to go out and all that. Went to Taco Bell. Had um a combo, but I added a few items. I added some chicken wrap. Um, and a beef burrito. I think right. Now, what I did was I ordered the $5 meal, which is basically a crunch wrap or a burrito or a gordita, whatever thing that is, right? With a taco, right? And a drink. And I didn't eat nothing until about noon anyway. And then I added two more items. One was a small chicken wrap for only $1.39, so that ain't a lot, right. And then the other was a beefy beef burrito, but I plan on eating that after the meal when I get home, which I just ate probably, right? So anyway, that was part of the plan, right? Though she didn't give me the beefy beef burrito until almost the end. She gave me an extra taco accidentally, then she came and got it, and then, right. I'm trying to get the beefy beef burrito from her. And again, right. But also eating the meal, right, in the meantime, right. But, not doing anything too weird about it. Just a little mix up, I guess, right. So, got done eating the meal, made it to, the movie, right. So, anyway, and, seen John Wick Chapter 4. So it was pretty interesting, right. And, the basic story is he's fighting this organization, right, where he's a hitman, right, and he's the top hitman, right, and everybody's coming after him. And so they're arranging a duel with this Marquis de Sade or whatever, kind of like, something in Paris, France, right, type situation, right. So he's going all over the world trying to, work all this out to get out the area, right? The situation he's in. So basically, he goes from um, back to part three, right, where he's dealing with the guy who's supposed to um, set him free from that first obligation he had. So, but he gets shot by Winston at the end, and then of three, right. And that's so Winston can keep his hotel, but again, right. you know, it kind of deals with the aftermath of some of that, right? And then, of course, Lawrence is, he's the king of the gypsies or the underground people, and then he's, dealing with that, right? And so we have some new characters. There's a new bounty hunter type, a an old friend of his is involved with it when he goes to Tokyo, right, or Japan, somewhere in Japan, right. And they got a similar hotel there, right. So they're dealing with that, and they're trying to track him down too. So it's going back and forth, right, from dealing with the things in the previous chapter to the new chapter, right. So it ends up they have to fight a duel, which you can get all that from the commercials at least, right? So he's got to challenge this Marquis dude to a duel, right? So and he's got to make it to the duel, You're dealing with assassins, so you're kind of like in a guild, right. Well, it's the Assassin's Guild he's trying to get out of, and right, of course they're going to send everything they got to stop him from making it to the duel in time, of course. So that's the main part of the movie, and then he gets a tracer, which is a new character, right? And he's trying to, get involved with it. He has a dog, right? That they have a special bond that does. have to take care of him and the dog, or what's going on, or does Wick do something unexpected, or whatever the case may be, right? So it's kind of trying to figure out who's whom, what's the new situation, how does he get to the duel, right? Set up the duel, right, and all that, right? And that's the main part of the movie is about all that in between, right? First, you gotta set up the duel. He's out every faction. He's off the table now, right? So you gotta get back on it. That's part of it too, right? Right. If you're out, you gotta get back in before you can challenge someone to a duel, kind of type situation, right? So that's kind of what it's dealing with too, right? Right. So the end will kind of play out, right? Right. It's live and let die, or live and let live, or live to fight another day, or right, right. Do you take the shot or wait? Yeah, you gotta go see the movie to find out what I mean. Right, right. Not revealing too much, I hope. Right, right. But it's all about guns and ammo. Timing, right, is part of it too, right? You know, is it better to live or die, or get wounded, or right? you know, and still live, right, right, right? Or do you finally succumb to all your wounds and die in the end? You never know. You never know. But that's basically what it's about, right? That's what all these movies are leading up to. Does he finally meet his coup de grace, or does he have a way out still? But anyway, so that was what that was about. So then after the movie, I just went to the store, got some milk, right, and then I'm gonna make some lasagna tomorrow. I never made that before, so I got me some olive oil, right, and some cashews, and I kind of ate the beefy beef burritos thing, and had some uh, cashews, right, and what you call it, and some crackers, those cheesy peanut butter crackers, right? And that's kind of where I'm at right now, watching Jennifer. She's got one of the practices on, right? Mm-hmm. It's tomorrow, Braxton, right? At the Queen's Court. Then the Isley brothers, not righteous brothers, Isley brothers. Wait, make me say it again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the album out. So, and that's basically where I'm at. Like I said, right? Now, other than normal channels, I told you before, I don't even go to the music channels, right? Right. So someone put it on the music channel again, right? And I ain't been to that channel in a long time, or several months, right? Or really hardly ever go to it, right? Right. So that's someone messing with the TV somehow before I woke up, right? Right. Now, why does that matter? Well, that's trying to figure out how that happened, right? Right. When I know I didn't have it anywhere near that channel, right? Now that can either be someone helping me or someone interfering or a little bit of both. Right. So when your TV's on a different channel and you're watching certain topics, right? And I think I was on 196 last night, right? Or sometimes 369, which is MTV Live, right? Oh, see, I'm a musical person, right. But I'm not necessarily doing it for sexual purposes, but right. I did become part of band and choir growing up, right? From 6th to ninth grade and then 8th to 10th grade, right? And then got out in the 11th grade and tried French and then things like that, right? So the whole point, though, is by now I'm tired, hot, and sweaty, and and hair's a mess, right? I know, and things like that, right. And I'm a 53-year-old man, right. Now, Keanu Reeves was born in 65. I was born in 69. That's about 4 years difference, right. So he's not quite yet 60, but right. Now, the reason I'm talking about him is we look like we could be brothers from another mother, that right? Type situation, right? But also different, right? I got kind of a Russian flair, I was told, right? But I'm kind of not Russian either, but. And then I got, you can still see the brown in the beard in the darkness of the hair, right? And the weirdness of the left side to the right side, right? But is it changing, right? Or is it staying the same, right? Now, some people think it's changing. Some people aren't listening to the person whose hair it is, right? And all you can do is discuss it with people, right? That's another thing. People harp on things, even if it's a mistake, right? Or they're mistaking themselves. See, that's the problem too, right? They're harping on issues that, normally normal people don't really deal with it unless you're in a bad situation prior to it, right. And even then, I'm not necessarily the guilty party if I'm not alone with somebody, right. So that's something you gotta consider, right. Now, guilt is from a party who wasn't supposed to be involved with that to that degree either, right. Now, if you're a mom, you're not supposed to allow your daughter to wake up your sleeping husband if you just had a fight with him. That's not normal, right. And if you're a biological dad, you don't mess with the daughter about that either before she even gets to the bed, right. That's the only two things that could have been close enough to interact around that time, right? Because either the biological dad and stepmom could have done something, or the mom herself. I don't know. But I'm not in a position to do anything but sleep on the couch if your wife leaves you stranded in Tennessee, right? And you're not sure what's really going on with her, and you think she's probably wanting her daughter the whole time. More than she's wanting you, right. And she told you the reason she married you is her mother wanted her to wouldn't let her get her daughter any other way. So you might know, right, to handle that with care, right? Whether the daughter wakes you up or not, right? Now, the worst thing that you could do, though, is if she does ask her who showed her it. That shows you're paranoid enough that you're knowing the only the person who's there is the mom and the mom. And you're aware enough that if she wakes you up, you gotta ask the child who showed her that because she's not supposed to be in there with you after midnight, right? Or after 11 p.m., right? After we all go to bed, right? Now, the mom and daughter, they can go to bed earlier, right? And that's the problem with that, too. The mom could be asleep, I don't know, or awake, right? I don't know, right? And I usually go to bed 11 on the weekdays, and then a little bit later on the weekends, depending on if I'm watching TV or not. Now, it's not necessarily always 11 or a certain time I go to bed. Now, even when I was married, right, to this woman and we were living together, right? But we're not just married, we're living together, right? So we're getting into a routine pretty much all week. Mm-hmm. And then the weekend, right. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm going to stay up a little later on the weekend to watch a movie or something, you know, again, or I go to bed at a certain time, or we go to bed at a certain time before all that, right? That's important too. But if she leaves me straight to Tennessee and I'm taking the couch to give her a little bit of space, right, because it's kind of weird for her to do that on the way to meet her parents, right? And see, there's a lot of information I'm not being told, right. And I'm dealing with my own problems before I met her, which included I had a hearing in Bethesda, Maryland, and I was supposed to go to that. And it sounds like what you're accusing me of is very complicated and not a simple yes or no question, right? And you're attacking me like you can prove it happened, right? No. I don't even know if it happened or not, right? And that's the problem. And like I keep telling you, and you're harping on it like you know something happened. Well, you know more about it than I can even remember fully about it. And if something happened, it's going to be brief, right? If I interact with her or not, right? And if I don't remember it, you're not helping the situation in the first place, right? You're making me think something more could have happened, which if she did wake me up, the mom would know. And if she did, the mom would know more than I would know that. Mm-hmm. So you do understand you're attacking the mom more than you're attacking me if she daughter woke me up or not, right? And she's neither defending me nor saying it happened or not either, I guess, right? Is that what you're saying? Right. But of course, there are reasons for that too, right? Again, right. If she's unaware of it, or the biological dad could have done something, and again, or worst case is the grandparents could have done something. But would that be more the dad or the grandma, even if you say grandma, right? I don't know. See, that's the problem too. And whoever it is won't let it go, right? They're pretending it's my fault, right? Well, no, I'm where I'm supposed to be. The child wouldn't be where she was supposed to be if she's in there with me at all, right? Now, she can go to the bathroom, but usually that don't involve waking up and sleeping separate anyway, right. If she's 4 and old enough to go on her own, she don't need to wake me up, right? So we all know that, right? See, that's the first thing we got to establish. Would the child normally wake up the sleeping step-parent on the couch? No. And if she did, and someone knows about it, either I told the mom, right, because she woke me up and I don't remember, right, because it was not as important to me as it was to the mom then, right, or someone else coached her, like the biological dad or another male figure in her life, right, perhaps. See, that's what we're talking about too, right? Whoever knows they did something wrong here, right? It ain't me, does it seem like? No. I'm trying to figure out what the other person is talking about because I was sleeping on the couch and it don't make sense that the child would even wake me up, right? Going to the bathroom or not, right. But you're saying you know she did, right? Well, only certain people around the child could know her that intimately to know she did, right? That's the grandparents, the biological dad, and his girlfriend or wife or whatever she was, right? And then my ex-wife herself, right? Now, of course, if she does, of course, I'm going to be suspicious, so I'm not going to do nothing wrong, right? I'm the one who's going to get in trouble. But, don't you know that too, right? So you can't put it on me if the mom's there and the child wakes me up and you're having an issue dealing with that, which even the mom knows if the girl woke me up or not, more than I would if I have amnesia, right? Or head trauma after. And I do, right? Head trauma means you might not have the same memory as someone else in a certain situation, right? Including the ex-wife or the bio dad or the grandparents, right? Which are the only 4 families, right, the girls around before you, right? Is the grandparents, but the bio dad does that. So, what do you coach her to say, grandma? See, that's the problem, too. Right. I don't know. Right. But you don't want her to say you. You don't want her to say dad. Right. Did that, right? You want to coach her to say, if anyone asks, say, Grandma showed you that, right? Right. If you ask, say, Grandma showed you that, right? I don't know. I'm making some of it up to deal with who would actually coach her to wake me up, besides my ex-wife, though she might have been mad. I don't think she was that crazy, right? To actually let the girl wake me up or not, but was the dad trying to do something, or even the granddad or the grandparents? But see, the answer I have to guess, right? If whoever coached her, and we got an option B, dad is option B, right? So grandparents, no, or dad wanted to say grandma. That's the question. That's the question, right? I don't know either, right? But they know she woke me up. Whoever it is, right? The only other person would be Daphne if she woke me up herself, but she would have other problems if she said grandma or not, too, wouldn't she? Wouldn't you? That's the problem, too. We don't even prove anything, right? See, it's he said, she said, he said, they said, we said, might have said, who said what? And I also could have had to deal with it if I fell on base and don't remember what happened, right? Or if I got back on the roof and tried to get back down and had to jump from the roof or something, and someone freaked out over it, right? Because if you're on the roof, you gotta jump down. You gotta jump down to get down, right? You don't just get onto a roof. You have to swing up or something and then jump back down, no matter how you gotta get back down, right? You gotta jump down from the roof, right? Even if you got down the same way you got up, you gotta jump back down to the level of 4 you were on, right? Previously. And that's still jumping down, right? Either way you look at it, right? From the roof. Might want to add that in too, right? If you gotta climb up and swing up on the roof, you gotta jump down to get off the roof, period, no matter how you had to jump down to get off the roof, right? Difference is distance, right? Did I jump from the window ledge? Did I lower myself down window to window? Or did I lower myself down and then jump? Or did I go back down the same way I got up, right? Which is the 4 options you got, right? There's not one, there's many. But at least 4. Mm-hmm. 2 of them do involve the window you're trying to get on, right? One of them, right, involves swinging back up and then going down to the other side. Well, 3 of them, actually. 3 involve the window you're trying to get into, and 1 is just going back to the same way you got up, right, and jumping back down to the level below you, right? Which either way, you got to jump down to get down, if you understand, right? Now, if you're wording this and you're mentally ill a little bit and you're trying to explain it to people and they freak out on you, right? Because you took ninja lessons in a book. And that's how you got on the roof in the first place, is the ninja lessons. Which ain't impossible to a point, right? We're talking a 3-story building, right? Right. We're not talking about a 5-6-story building like in The Crow, right? But there is proof a 3-story building or being thrown out one can kill you, right? If you watch ghost stuff, right? I know. So the question is, what really happened there, and who's involved with it, and who's insisting by now, right? The wife, the dad, I hope, but let it go by now because you can't prove anything. Unless a third party got involved on base. And act like he knew something happened with me and the daughter, right? And then it became a fighting thing, right? Because that's a serious offense. And then I got blacked out instead of at the fall in front of the lounge area, right? Or in front of the barracks, right? Where you're not supposed to be, blacked out if you make it back. after trying to get into the window anyway, right? Which means I made it back on the roof or jumped down somehow, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The one way would be kind of spectacular, wouldn't it, if you jump from the window yourself and landed the fall. Yeah. The two other ways you could do it, right? Of course, but that's less spectacular. True. But either way, they're overreacting if you did, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the only four ways you can get down anyway, and they all involve jumping from one point to the next, right? And you're trying to explain it to them in a way they might could understand, even if some of them are drunk when they get in or whatever, right? And also said they fell from a 3-story building and broke their arm. Broke their arm. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. I don't know. I know you don't know. But these are things that happen kind of after, I guess. Yes. Around the same time, right? That kind of stuck out in my mind, right? Not everything would stick out like it would with you, that right? See, coaching involves more than one person, too, right? Someone has to play my ex-wife, and then someone has to play me on the couch, right? Uh-huh. Grandma and Grandpa wouldn't play that. Know what I mean? So, biological dad had her for 4 days, right? Is there time to coach her? Yes. Maybe. Can't prove it, right? Is hearsay, is no direct link to anything, right? It's not criminal, right, per se, for them to do it either. And you can't prove which of the two stories is the truest. Only Daphne would know what I said the night of. If you're making me make up 2 alternative stories or more and trying to figure out what could have happened when she came in or not, right? Now, Daphne does know what I told her that night, right? Happened, right? But bio dad wouldn't, nor stepmom, nor... If you're making me make stuff up, right? Daphne knows what happened that night. Not you. And if she did say grandma, is she on the same page with me or the same page with you? But it makes sense. They would actually coach her, or dad and stepmom. Making stepmom be bad. I don't know. So, now, stepdads can go bad if you watch those kind of movies. Sometimes. But they've got wicked stepdads now, right? So it starts with who? Cinderella. And the wicked stepmoms, usually. Or the evil queen is the stepmom of Snow White, even, right? And she's jealous of her daughter's beauty, right? Stepdaughter, right? Me and me own the world. Who's the first of the world? Yeah. Right. And that's the wicked queen, right? Who's Snow White's mother had then died, right? Remember, that's part of the story. He remarried another queen. So that's still stepmom's daughter, right. Most fairy tales, it's between the dad, though, right, I don't know, right, or the stepmom, right, again, right, usually are the villainary type classes there, right, not necessarily grandma or grandpa, which, if the child's ready with an answer, grandma, right off the bat, and I'm going to ask her as soon as she wakes me up, or I realize what's going on, right, which makes more sense, too, she wakes me up, right, And who showed you that? Right, to wake me up, right? And I know she's with dad or grandma, right, right. Who showed her that? Of the two. Grandma or bio dad and stepmom? Oh, can't prove it. Can't prove it. It's just a suggestion, though. I'm not alone with her, but I'm not where I normally sleep. But right, I'm not the one who can cause a commotion, right? Right. But there's a go between, right? There's 4 days with dad. Is that long enough? And this is reasonable doubt too to coach her. Is possibly. See, I don't have to prove that beyond all reasonable doubt she came in there or not, right? Do I have an alternative story, right, that makes more sense if I'm mentally ill or not, right? See, does it make sense at all that the girl has to wake me up at all? No, no. So it would be more coaching if she did, right? Training, right? For 4 days. Right. Not by grandma or my ex-wife, right? Whoops, whoops. But whoever coached her knew she was with grandma too, and it would sound grandma at 4 years old could have coached her, right? No, wait a minute. Right. For real? For real. Grandma could have showed her that to wake up the sleeping stepdad. Or bad dad and stepmom. Bad dad and stepmom. I don't know. Only Daphne knows, right? Besides me, what happened that night, right? Or you, right? If you coached her, right? Not to prove it or disprove it. You can't prove a hypothetical, right? Uh-uh. Unless Daphne knows the whole story, right? Or more than me, you know. Which is allowable if I'm on the couch. See, my ex-wife can remember more than me if I'm blacked out a few weeks later. Too, by the way, right? She just can't say what I said to her either, right? That's not hearsay, right? See, if I tell her, your daughter woke me up and said Grandma showed her that, that's all I said. She can't say no more than that either, right? Uh-huh. Bio dad and evil stepmom. Right, right. This is the whole story, you know. No kicks and caboodles, right? That's all I definitely remember, I know, of the whole situation before I met the girl. She went and stayed with Bio Dad, right, right. And I was only around her till the end of the weekend till I could move back to base, maybe, right? And I'm on the couch, right, for the whole week before I even meet her, right, right. So 4 days I'm not even around her, then the last 4 days I'm not even around her, right? Suspicious? If she wakes me up or not, yes. And you know she did? So who's the person implicating too? My ex-wife or ex-wife? Would know, but bio dad and stepmom would know too, right? So there's someone else who can know who's an outsider to me and my ex-wife's situation, even though she lived in Sherman, Tennessee, and the grandparents knew that too, but still let her back with her mom, but still, no one had time to coach her from that end, did they? Fishy, fishy. No one knew if she was gonna do that or not. If you're preparing to meet your new in-laws, right? But and the wife leaves you stranded in Tennessee, it also gives her a reason to get back sooner herself. Okay, okay. But then she gotta drive straight back. She can't really tit or tat. And if the bio dad wanted her first for a few days, right? See her because he ain't seen her in a while either, right? And she's with him for 4 days, I think. That's detail you might can remember, right? If she woke you up or not, maybe, maybe not, maybe not. but only the wife knows which of the two stories is more in depth or more what happened, right? Right. Did she come in there briefly or a little elapse in time because I'm seeing that she had to pee or something? There's something else I might could do that's legal as a step parent, but not criminal. But I want them to say that one's true over the other one. Right? Daphne knows why. Daphne knows which story of the two I told her. Not you. You coached her or not. I can't prove anybody coached her or not. Depending on how far they took it, right? Right. Even I know you can undress a child in the living room and she can go pee or something. And it's not illegal. It's not illegal. And what did I do like one time? Oh no, sarcasm. I mean, what else can you do with a 4-year-old, right? If you're seeing if she peed and you're not sure if she peed and you're just trying to smell it, right? I know you might can do that. I ain't saying I did or didn't. You are. So you can't agree to every hypothetical I have unless you know something yourself, right? Like you really coached her, right. If she's not coached, how often would she wake me up? No, not at all, right? That's the other question. And if she said grandma, who's likely to coach her between grandma and biodad? Biodad. So if you eliminate that, and the ex-wife says, "Oh, but she did bring her back right away," and he did ask her who should, and she did say grandma, right? That's then me and my ex-wife against him and his stepmom, and it seems like they know more than they should about it too, right? So how do they know? How do they know we coached them? Or could have coached. I couldn't coach her, right? Daffy couldn't coach her. She's driving from Arkansas. That's a 20-hour drive. But 4 days with bio parent, dad, and stepmom. That seems like the only window where she could have been coached. Maybe. Oh, oh. Now, bio dad, like Mussolini. I'm not saying he's the Mussolini type, but he didn't marry my ex-wife. I had to marry her for different reasons because I'm trying to find a wife. I want a girlfriend or a wife. I guess he did, man. Maybe not even the daughter he had with her, but now he was looking crazy, right? If you keep trying to dig a ditch for someone else, be careful that you fall into it yourself. That's what the entrapment is, right? It's where you put someone in an awkward situation they would normally find themselves in, right? And that's the problem too. With my ex-wife or her family, that haven't never met either. Nor the bio dad, but he has her for 4 days, right? Where's the window of opportunity to coach her with them? With them, right? Not with the grandparents or my ex-wife, right? So by process of elimination, if this has been going on for 15 years, right? Since I got on YouTube, right? And there's no evidence one way or the other of what happened except my wife could say if I brought her back or not, right? And which story of the two is true, right? Did I undress her, lick her, and smell her, and help her take a bath, redress her, and then ask her who showed her that? And she said, Grandma, and that's what I told her. Or did she just come in there, wake me up, and as soon as I realized she was in there, I asked her who showed her that and brought her back to that life, right? One sounds easier either way, right? And if that's what you told your ex-wife, you don't need to embellish the other one, do you? Right? Why? I don't know. that still implicates coaching, right? And both of them. Oh no. Either one could be made up or true, right? If you're coaching her to wake someone up sleeping on the couch, who knew when I got back, the grandparents, Daphne, or Dad, that I was on the couch? And would check on her daughter every day, right? Until she's back with her, right? Daphne. And tell him or her or someone, well, he's just sleeping on the couch right now. he's he's not acting too mad, but he's trying to see how I feel, I guess. I don't know, right. I mean, he's not acting volatile. We're still kind of getting along, but right, time will tell, right? Well, that's the point, right? She's going to be more talking to him. So, I'm still going to be behaving while I'm sleeping on the couch because I'm not sure what she's mad about or if we can marry. What's the next step, right? See, I also got to give her space if I don't know why she left me stranded in Tennessee. That's why I'm on the couch for over a week, right? Either way. Also, if I move back to base, right, have to have time to set up a place on base too, right? So we got a week there, right? Friday to Monday morning, Monday evening, I'm back on base, right? Monday afternoon, right? Or first day. And then I move back to base. So that's the last weekend I'm around my ex-wife too, period. Either way. Whether it's Friday or Monday, right? And I don't remember all these details, right? Some of it's more made up, some of it's more, right, guessing, right? To begin with, and they're insisting they know what happened. Right? Only the coachers, right, could know what happened. Right. If you actually coached her to wake me up, both stories could be true because you could have coached her both ways, right? Yourself. Mm. But only if she came in there to me briefly, me and my wife knows which of the two stories is truly true, right? Plus, if I'm in the living room, that's still an open space, right? In the privacy of my own home, you can't record inside someone's own home, right? I've told you that anyway, right? So we're asking you, Biodad, right? Of all the people she's around, who does it look like could have coached her besides grandma themselves, right? You, and your girlfriend or wife at the time or whatever she was, right? Stepmom, right? Not me and my wife. We had no time to really coach anybody there, right? Nor would the grandparents, unless, you're insinuating the granddad did or right? Something happened beforehand, right? And then you're implying more the grandpa if she's waking up a meal, right? Oh. And I asked her who said that, and she says, Grandma, right? Well, again, right? That's more something you say if you're coached by a male than rather a female, right? Than if Grandma actually did something like that with her herself, right? If you know what I mean, right? Grandma would never do all that with her granddaughter unless, right, something weird was going on there in the first place. Now, could the grandma pee herself? Or could the granddaughter pee herself? Right. And the grandma know she peed herself and change her once in a while? Sure. That could happen. Right. That's coincidental, though, right? Usually when you do that, I know, the girl peed or not, right? And it's obvious what happens. She pees herself, right? And you deal with it by just putting on a pair of underwear, right? If you're bathing her, again, right? Simple thing. Either you bathe her or you don't, right? That's what we're talking about, right? In a nutshell, why would the child even be in there with me besides she needs help being there going to the bathroom, right? Or something to eat or drink, right? We know those are the four main reasons, right? So what are you talking about? Sexual stuff. Wouldn't be on my mind, right? Because it's like he'd be trying to trap me. You understand? Right, I don't know. If she wakes me up or not. See, I'm the one I gotta look at if she wakes me up or not, right? What's best for me to do? Ask her if she's in there with me at all, right? As soon as she wakes me up, I gotta say, well, who showed you that, Grandma? Grandma? If she's ready with an answer, she's being coached, right? Uh-oh. Not by me, not by Daphne, not by Grandma, right? But by who? By a process of elimination. There's only another couple, right? But this time we got a bad dad and an evil stepmom, right? A bad dad. Right. And I'm around my ex-girlfriend, I told you, Lisa Baker, whose dad was trying to have sex with his own daughter, so I'm aware of that, right? Uh-oh. Now, I know step parents can too, right? Mm-hmm. Don't we? But I also know against that. I know how to stop that, right? I know not to do that. I know that's something awkward, right, to do with your cousins or your close family, right? And you're to try, even if someone wants to talk them out of it, right? You know what I mean, right? You don't give in, right, just to sex with someone, right? Unless it's a stranger you never met before, and even then, that's different, right? You still ask questions of the party, right, involved, right? And then we're going to something different, right? Now, biological dad could hire someone to investigate me too, pretending he don't know, but that's still more explanatory differently, right? But at the same time, don't prove he's not guilty as well if he had her for 4 days too, right? He knows he's got to act all innocent himself if he coached her or not too, right? But that's the problem about proving all this, right? See, the child's not going to have a clear memory. Daphne may or not, she's got to have a brain tumor, right? I got amnesia from the fall, which was 2 weeks later, right? But this person acts like they know, right? Grandma or grandpa might know, or bio dad and stepmom might know, right? Only 2 people in that party could know, right? If she was actually coached by them or not, right? You see what I mean? Grandma or grandpa or bio dad and stepmom, right? Who of the 4, that sounds like they were more likely to coach her, right? To get me and Daphne in trouble. Years later, even, right. Because, see, me and Daphne I didn't even remember that till you started reading it up, and I started guessing what happened, right? Just as I was sleeping on the couch, which makes sense, right? If you're sleeping on the couch for a week, right? And you do know she was with the bio dad, but you don't know all the details, right, about her waking you up or not, right? Then you start making it up for the person sarcastically first. Right. Especially if they won't let it go and there's only one other party who can know, the bio dad and stepmom, right? See, that's the opposite side of the spectrum. Me and my ex-wife, along with the daughter for the last week of the weekend, right? Or bio dad who had her for the first part of the week and stepmom, right? So you got 2 step parents involved here, right? Stepmom and stepdad. But one's a week before and one's the weekend, right? Who has the opportunity to coach her of the 4? You can't prove it. I can't prove you coached her. You can't prove I coached her. You can't prove Daphne coached her. You can't prove the grandparents coached her, right? Well, we all know if she's living with the grandparents, that's who, I know, could have coached her the most, right? They raised her. They taught her good and bad, right and wrong. Potty trained her, right? Mm-hmm. But she's still four. Four's still young enough to possibly, or not. See, that's what I mean. You don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Daphne don't know what happened fully unless I just woke her up, right? After she woke me up, right? That's quick, right? You might not even remember that with a head trauma. But if I asked her if Grandma should have that, I wouldn't remember that either. But I know she was with Grandma, right? I know if someone's coaching her. They won't ever say Grandma, right? Not them, not them. Oh, Dad, stepmom, right. And they're using what against me, and Daphne's brain tumor, by the way, right? When neither one of us had opportunity to coach her, but only they had her for 4 days, apart from Grandma and Grandpa, right? But it's all my fault, all Daphne's fault. Who would blame us? Grandma and Grandpa, bio dad and stepmom. I don't know. I can't prove it. You can't prove it. Amanda can't remember, probably, right? Child herself. But let's not drop it now. We can prove this, right? Beyond all reasonable doubt, right? How's that working for you for 15 years on, 17 years on, 16 years on, 19 years on YouTube? Not at all, not at all. Bio dad, right? You're not proving I do crap unless you again try to set him up with yourself or something crazy, right? Which even that's crazy, right? Even there are rules there, right? That the girl has to tell me something that's truthful and not lie, right? You can't use a 15-year-old as girl bait and have her tell me she's 37, idiot. She can't lie to me, because then you're putting her to have actual sex with me, possibly, right? See, if she has actual sex with me, it's her crime, right? Oh, but a 15-year-old can't never sleep with a 50-year-old man? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Right. See, the idea isn't to actually sleep with someone. No. You tell you're 37 to, right? That's legal. That's legal. If you're working in a nail salon, I gotta assume you're qualified, right? already. And you tell me you're 37. No. If you tell me you're 15, yeah, I have the right to even see your paperwork, right? And make sure you can even legally work there, right? Because if you don't have it, you can't work there, right? mm-hmm. Now, you tell me you're 37, I'm not going to question it necessarily, right? A lot. But you tell me you're 15, and I'm going to, let you just see my nails, that can be a problem. Mm-hmm. See, the alternative, right, is what would happen if she said she was 37 or if she said she was 15, right? If that's what I say, I remember, because you start by going in there to do your nails. You don't start with a conversation about sex until you find out what she's old enough to or not, right? And of course, that part I'm not confused about either, because I started posting as soon as I realized something more happened, perhaps, right? And I lost time, right? Of some sort, right? So from day one, I'm maintaining. I went to the store and this girl said she was 37. Her name was Michelle, right? I'm telling you details, right? She was from New Jersey, right? And a college graduate. So that's 4 details, right? That I started to remember during the encounter, right? And if I'm blacked out somewhere around that time after that and come to 20 minutes or something later, then we start doing my nails again, right? And then another 20 minutes goes by, and again, we do something else, right? And then the final 20 minutes go by, and she finishes my fingers. Uh-huh. That's an hour and 40 minutes. Not over a 2 hour period from 2 to 4 instead of, right, 2 to 3, 2 to 3, which should have been the real period, right? And I should have gotten out in time and seen my movie, which would have been Dark Feet or Harriet, and I know which movie was playing at that time, that day, right? Advertised by that theater before, during and after that day, right? And see, anytime you look up that information, it's going to tell you that Terminator was showing at 3 and Harriet at 3:10 on that day, unless you alter it. I know. Since I'm making the point now, right. Now, again, right. The 4:30 show was Arctic Dogs. And I had to see that instead, right? And it was a November 7th day weekend, whatever that meant. I know. That's getting close to Thanksgiving. I know it is. Right. They kind of release movies around that time, don't they? I know. So Harriet is about the slave woman, and Dark Fate about Terminator. I just was thinking I'd be back. I'll be back. I'll be back, Mom. Well, maybe a Jamaican. I don't know. I'll be back. I don't know. It's one of the go-to impersonators of impersonators. Is impersonator Arnold. I'll be back. I know, right? Mm-hmm. I know. That's the problem, right? See, no one can prove what's going on here except someone's obsessed with the stepdaughter or the biological daughter, right? And someone's trying to figure out what the hell the person's even talking about because they were never really alone with the girl that long, right? To even know that happened, right? And the mom was there the whole time, right? Because see, whoever's accusing me is also saying Daphne was derelict on duty, right? I didn't care if she woke me up or not, and what I did with her, right? Does that say I'm more accusative of a bio dad who didn't work things out with her in the first place, or right? And maybe involved his wife, right? Or me and Daphne are hiding that she woke me up even, right? I don't know. Though Daphne would remember more than I would, right? And she knows me, right? She knows who had a problem with her if she was around me or not, too, right? If Bio Dad don't even want me exposed to her, right? Daphne, you know his end, right? His fear, right? That I'm mentally ill or something, right? And what is he saying to you about it, right? I don't know all that, right? You do. If he's more paranoid about it, right? He's more apt with his wife or girlfriend to do something dumb than you and I are in the first place, right? Though it don't prove it, right? Only he can be on about it to actually coach her to wake me up, though, right? Not me and you on it, or even remember what happened, really. We know nothing really happened, too. Right. She just came in there and I woke you up as soon as I realized she was in there and asked her who showed her that, and she said, Grandma, right? Mm-hmm. I know. Now, they want you to feel that your mother wouldn't do that, though, right? If she did. Mm-hmm. I know. But I know Daphne, too. I lived with the woman for almost 6 months, right? We started dating in February, got married in March, was into the apartment by April, right, right. We're kind of going fast right now. Now, some things I'm a little hesitant on. She's a little bit too fast for me, but uh, uh, you're still trying to give her a stable, somewhat environment, right? For her and her daughter too, right? And I'm more thinking of her up front, not the daughter yet, right? I'm just trying to find someone to settle down with, kind of myself, right? Right. Kind of what it looks like too, huh? Right? But I'm not judging the past. I was taught not to do that as a Christian either, right? I know we're all human, and if you want a wife and you're having problems with your shipmates, right? And ex-girlfriends, right? And no one's really wanting to settle down with you, and then you meet this mm-hmm, woman who looks like somewhat Asiatic herself, right? And you dreamed of an Asian girl that you didn't tell her that, right? She's not perfectly Asian, but right? She might be working more than the other girls you were with so far, right? And their name was Daphne, and you think of, hey, wait a minute. That can work. Scooby Doo and Spaceballs. Okay, okay. See the coincidences lining up, right? In his head and his head. Maybe not yours, right? Right. I don't know what you're thinking, but right. That's how I would think towards it, that right? Spaceballs and Scooby Doo, right? That her name was Daphne, right? And yeah. And even big, she's a pretty woman, right? In the face. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we're all kind of taking it on the run. Right. That means you're just, whatever comes at you is what is. Is what you gotta work out with, right. So people try to do that too, right. Mm-hmm. That's also first come, first serve. It don't always work out, right. That's a problem with that too, right. Okay, well, we could talk about this for hours and hours and hours.